All right, what's going on? So, made the map for you quickly, just to take a look at it and look at all the crime stats and kind of the no-go areas for yourself. Wonderful hotel. You're staying at the Royal Horse Guards. You can't get any better than that with the tube station right there, which is always nice to have embankment. There, you also have another tube station, Westminster Station. You can get to everything from here, but you're right near Parliament, which is really cool. So you're right there next to it. You got Big Ben right here. You got to the London Eye. You got a lot of these lovely parks and everything. So this whole area is just really, really nice place for you to go to. Look at the crime stats too. So normally, from the source, you're going to be at anywhere. These numbers should be at 1,000 or 800 by the time you get in summer, the peak season. So right now they're pretty low, and you're staying right here. So if we just click on it and we see where you're staying, very, very few things actually happening, and you would naturally see a lot of stuff at big train stations like this. So those numbers are incredibly low. So you're pretty good on that one. Just make sure as you get closer to House of Parliament down here, there is on high DEFCON right now with the terror alert, security alert. So you'll see a lot more police, whatnot, but it is a good area to be in. And if we zoom out a little bit, you have Buckingham over here, so you're just in a great area in general here. But for your no-go areas, I would definitely, so if I zoom out a little bit, I know it may be a little much. So where you do not want to stay, let me help you with this one. I would definitely, where you're at right here, I would try your best to avoid anything up in this region. Let me redo it, my apology. So anything basically east of your British Library up this way, Whitechapel, I would stay away from. This is where your heavy migrant population is, and this is where most of the cells that we know about right now exist on the terror level, so probably avoid that at all costs. Down here as well, I would make sure I would stay away from all this stuff down here. I did live right here for many years, and this is just this is the very rough. If you had to put a thing, this is the rough Compton area. This is the rough Inglewood area. So I would really venture to stay away from that as best as possible. But the good places for yourself, which you're going to be existing in, is all through here. Pimlico, Fulham, all this stuff. This area is the good area. Here, this is the Orange County, the posh stuff. So you're staying right where you need to, which is awesome. Just make sure you don't go south, east, and northeast. Probably stay away from that, but literally you're not going to miss anything. Tower Bridge you can go to, everything here. You're fine in this little area. If you want to see like Shakespeare's Museum, you stay along the river there. Really, really good areas in general, but you're fine. Just make sure you stay away from those particular ones in that one. Luckily for getting around for you where you're at, you're in a great area. So this is the tube map, and I know it looks totally confusing, but what's really cool to help you out with this one is the rule of thumb generally is you can see this bottle here, this yellow and thing here, the bottle. If you just stay within that, you'll hit everything that you want to see in London. There's nothing that you won't see in that one. So if we zoom in a little bit for you here and see, my apology, this may look confusing, but when you get there, you'll totally see what I'm talking about. You're going to be Green Park, Piccadilly right here, Westminster. So these are the ones, the tube stations that you're always going to take here. And what's really cool about our yellow or district line or central line and stuff like that, if you just take yellow, green, and red, you'll basically get anywhere you want to, plus the gray line, Piccadilly Jubilee line. So these are just the main stations you're going to use. So just make sure if you ever did find yourself in trouble, make sure if you need to get back somewhere safe, always try to get yourself back to Piccadilly Circus. This is where Tour Central is right here, so there's always going to be people to help you there. Same with Westminster, because that's where the House of Parliament is. So really, really safe areas here. Super rich areas through here too. So Knightsbridge, Gloucester Road, South Kensington, all that. So this is kind of the area where you want to stay in. Definitely avoid anything up in this region, and definitely avoid things over here. Just stay away. There's not really much out there. Nothing but trouble. So I would just heavily avoid that at all costs. Okay, moving on to Paris now. Congrats for booking an awesome hotel and location. Yeah, pretty cool. So you're right there. And if we zoom ourselves out there, you're right near Tour Eiffel, everything right here. So you're just literally a stone's throw away from there. And if you want to go north from where you're at here, you'll hit the Arc de Triomphe, you'll hit the Champs-Élysées, which is all the swanky shops that you normally associate with Paris. So you're right there in that one, which is really cool. And the Eiffel Tower is right there. Also, if we go over this way a little bit, you're at the Louvre, which is all your famous stuff that you're going to want to see, everything. So literally from where you're at over here to going up, this is a great region to be in. You're also near the American Embassy, so that's a really good thing. If you ever need help or something like that, you can just go back towards your hotel and you'll hit where you need to. Paris is different, though, in the sense of terror threats, whatnot. They have a bit more active cells right now from what we're gathering and what the intel is showing. So rule of thumb is if you stay near the river, you'll be safe on that one or you'll be okay. But areas where you really want to avoid, let me switch it for you on this one. So anything below, if you start going below the Tour Eiffel and down, south side is incredibly difficult to go into. So do make sure you're watching yourself on that one. Plus anything to the northeast up here. This is also the same thing like London. This is where the terror cells, they have evidence of their existence and where it tends to be a little more lower income crime. So petty theft happens a lot here. So basically if you're at the Louvre, which you will be, I'm sure, because you guys are awesome and you'll enjoy it. Just make sure when you're going north from the Louvre and you want to experience some of the cool stuff up here, just avoid going right at all costs. That's really rough, and especially down here you have Notre Dame. If you go right, if you go east this way, you just get into really rough areas, and that's where you're going to see the petty crime stuff happening, plus where we know the terror cells are. Avoid that. However, you're in a wonderful region all throughout here, so you can't really I can't say many bad things about where you're at in general. I would encourage you, and you probably already have it on your list, but you're here. Definitely take yourself out to Versailles, so get yourself out this way. Palace is just wonderful out there, so you'll have a good time. But you can see that's Paris, the overview. Be safe in it. Now, Paris Metro, the same color system per se. You are going to be existing yourself. You'll be, let me get it again for you up here. You are in this region here, which is good. So anytime, though, you need, if in the event of an emergency, make sure you get yourself back to Charles de Gaulle or La Défense. This is where government seat is. This is where American Embassy is. This is where you're going to find help immediately. So always try to get yourself back there. And again, make sure at all costs, please avoid all this stuff and avoid all this stuff down here. Definitely no-go areas in terms of the metro. And yeah, very rough, even though one of the main train stations is Gare du Nord. Basically, just get there and then just go south and enjoy it here. But you'll have all these wonderful times here. The Tuileries is your station for the Louvre, so you get off of that. Bir Hakeim is your station for... Sorry, it's in red, but Bir Hakeim is Tour Eiffel, so you can get yourself there. But as long as you just stay in that general region there, for safety-wise, you'll be fine on that one. So, yeah, if you ever need anything, again, just go to those stations. You'll be fine, though, but do watch yourself because, yes, it is, the terror alerts are high right now, and that's nothing to be nervous about. That's just being honest right now. So you're going to have a lovely time, though. Enjoy yourself, and, yeah, have fun.